You're welcome on my show.
I'm on it, sir.
Good, good. So tell us about yourself.
I'm on it. I would like to introduce myself as in a Bible quotation, which is in John chapter 1, verse 6.
Okay.
And God sent a man, and his name is Dickson, Sapong, Kwaku, Tuffour, Ahiagbe.
Are you a pastor?
No, please.
Okay. But what are you?
I am an ambassador of Christ, I would say.
Okay. But what do you do now? Are you a student?
I'm a student.
Where?
I attend Ghana Communication Technological University.
Okay. Which year are you?
Level 400 student reading computer science.
All right. Okay. So I see you talk and show videos more of Nana Kwame Bediako on social media, specifically on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is it about Nana Kwame that made you attracted to him and want to be a part of his campaign and doing so much work on the campus on his behalf? What is it about him?
Much appreciated. I would say that.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Right, much appreciated.
Uh-huh.
I would say that Nana Kwame Bediako is a reincarnation of the late Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
I see.
And I believe in his vision because it's high time Ghanaians need to talk the walk, but walk the talk.
Okay.
And looking at the spirit he carries, he's a man who is willing to walk the talk, not talk the walk per se.
Have you had an encounter with him before?
I've never had an encounter with him.
So how do you know this is for certain?
I would always say that a man with a vision without a television will soon be seen on your television.
What?
A man with a vision without a television will soon be seen on your television. The reason I'm saying this is
a man with a vision without a television
will soon be seen on your television.
Will soon be seen on your television. What does that mean?
It means that as we have visionary leaders.
Okay.
And Nana Kwame Bediako is a perfect example of a visionary leader. You could see what he stands for.
Okay.
And as he always says in his word, God sent him. God said, go, I'm with you. And looking at what I believe in making Africa something worth writing home about.
I see.
And looking at what he stands for, I willingly decided to join the new force because I know that if we are going to move in that alignment, a time will come that the next generation will not come and question us that our forefathers failed us, but will come and say our forefathers tried for us.
So you are some sort of an organizer on the campus?
Yes, please.
Okay. And how many membership do you have there?
At the moment, I have traction of 50 people because of the existing parties.
Okay.
And we are still doing our maximum best to get as many as we can.
Okay. So in your heart of hearts, you believe that Nana Kwame Bediako is a guy for now?
I believe
to change the fortunes of Ghana?
Yes, he has what it takes.
Okay. Have you read his manifesto?
Yes, please.
Okay. He spoke about the 12 pillars for development.
Yeah.
Do you know about it?
I do know about them.
What do you know about it? Which part interests you the most?
Actually, I would say the catchphrase that caught me is the 12 apostolic style of governance. When I was listening to him during his manifesto, he pictured the vision of Ghana into 12 lines, 12 pillars. But one thing that I stand for, I'm an advocate of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a comparison with the 12 pillars and the Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay.
For Ghana to know that what he's saying is not that, what Nana Kwame Bediako is saying is not, it's not just talking.
Okay.
It's something we are really going for action. As Marcus Aurelius said, the obstacle is the way. The visionary leader Nana Kwame Bediako sees the opportunity, sees it that every problem there's an opportunity.
Okay.
And he's not the man who is going to say that, Mahu. He walks the talk. From where I stand, if I'm to look around what he has done from some time now, a businessman able to achieve such a vision and is willing to do everything possible to make it a reality. This man is not just a man. He has a mission.
I see.
And I believe that the mission of Nkrumah, the late Kwame Nkrumah, is going to be executed by Nana Kwame Bediako.
So he's a reincarnation of Kwame Nkrumah.
That's what I believe.
So we should expect the things Nkrumah did to be done by Nana Kwame Bediako.
Yes, please.
Okay. Which part of the 12 pillars actually caught your attention? Which part of it?
The fourth pillar, which concerns about reserves.
Okay.
I have realized that if you read the Bible, looking at Joseph in the Bible, during his time in Egypt, he made reserves about things. He had dreams. God was able to envision into him that this was going to happen, so this is what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
And he put in
measures
that will help sustain the people of Egypt. And it happened with Mansa Musa. It also happened it's currently happening with the United States, the US. It will shock you that the United States that you're thinking it is has a whole reserve that if things are to fail, they're going to provide food.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. But we are talking about Ghana in this sense.
Right now, God has blessed Ghana with everything Ghana will need.
That is obvious.
But the problem is that we, instead of making reserves of our natural resources, we are always importing. It's hard time Ghana exports. Because based on that importation, Ghana has been driven back in our economic data. As a student of geopolitics, I could proudly speak that we should be looking up for India. That the next economic bank to come is India.
Okay.
Ghana can be able to rub shoulders with India if we pay attention to these 12 pillars of Nana Kwame Bediako. Trust me.
I see.
Considering the sustainable development goals, if you pick up from the first pillar, and if you look at SDG Goal 8, Sustainable Development Goal 8, is promoting inclusive economic growth and decent work globally. Industrialization is seen as the critical and sustainable, critical, but sustainability and fairness also emphasizes. But Nana Kwame Bediako's pillar here aims to launch a revolutionary industrial system for all the 16 regions. If you look at the Volta region, it has the Lake Volta, and it's the largest man-made lake in Africa. And looking at how this thing is, we can expatiate it to become an industrial hub for us. I've realized that our educational system in Ghana here has created workers but not thinkers. The hard truth is that we were told to go to school for 4 years, get a job. 9 to 5 is not providing what Ghanaians need. Trust me. If you look at the daily needs of people, 9 to 5 doesn't provide what we need. And the youth will not go, majority of the youth will not go and sell their souls to the devil and do something bad. So this is what they do. What do you have? What do you have? I know there are a lot of people with skills. The introduction of the SDG goals by the United Nations is something which is really significant. Looking at it, if I'm to speak on the historical background of how Nana Kwame Bediako's vision resonates with Kwame Nkrumah, and why I'm going to prove to you that he's a reincarnation of Kwame Nkrumah. You see, after Ghana's independence in 1957, Kwame Nkrumah pursued a rapid industrialization with state-led enterprise and factories. But many of these projects flattered by the years 1970s due to one thing, political instability and economic mismanagement. But looking at Nana Kwame Bediako here, his focus on industrialization can be seen as a revival of this vision, but with private sector leadership and modern infrastructure at its core. I've realized that in Ghana, everything owned by government, because of the workers in the government sector, they know that so the work ethics there is really poor. Some of them will not even go to job.
If you go that route as an explanation for Nana Kwame's pillars, I'll disagree with you.
Why would you?
Okay. I love what Nana Kwame is doing. And I speak of him more time on my platform. Okay. He has a lot of mileage on my platform. In fact, I'm advocating for people to vote for Nana Kwame Bediako and the new force. But my understanding of the pillars is different from what you are interpreting. My understanding is we are bringing back what Nkrumah did, in the sense that at this point in Ghana's history, we have tried since 1992 to incorporate private sector government partnerships. Since 1992, the results has been the same. What is left that we haven't tried since 1992 is when the state takes charge. And when anybody gives me an excuse that when people work for state, they are inefficient. When people work for state, it collapses. I disagree with that, because you are only looking at examples with Ghana, but you are not looking at examples with countries that have succeeded with state enterprises, like Singapore, like Malaysia. It is very important that you understand that no matter what you try to do with the private sector has one priority, always, to maximize profit, no matter what. They are not there for just the workers. They are not there just for the economy. They are not there for whatever other reason. Their main priority is how do we go into that market and make the most profit out of that place. But that is not what government is all about. Government is about the welfare of the people. Government is about sustainability. Government is about preparing the people for a long-term, working environment. And government is about profits also. It has to be profitable. It has to be sustainable. But these two must come together, different from what private people are looking for. Okay. So if Nana Kwame is coming in, we are expecting that, Nana, when you come in, whether you want to deal with the private sector in this partnership or not, that is fine. But government will have to take the bigger share or the responsibility, or else it will not be sustainable. The reason is this. When private people are given the opportunity to take over and government takes a very small stake in it, private people have way of driving inflation up because they are always looking for profit. They have a way of making things more costly when they especially enjoy a monopoly. Private people, I mean. No wonder the situation we have in Ghana with inflation. Ghana's inflation is also because private people are controlling every aspect of our lives. So when private person goes out, import things into the country, he sells it at the price he or she wants. Nobody controls the price. When you leave people, especially private business owners, to themselves to make those decisions, they will always skyrocket the price. And that will collapse your economy. But when a government is equally competitive, when a government is also working, private is doing tomato farming, government is also involved in tomato farming. At the end of the day, when people go to the market and they see the price of the private tomato farmer, one tomato for 5 cedis, and see the price of a government tomatoes, one for 1 cedi, where do you think the people go? They go to the state farm. So the government will not will not tell you, the private business, to bring down your price, but by comparing the prices and where the people are going, you, the private operator, is forced to naturally bring down your price. That is what makes a country competitive, when the government is involved. And that is what drags the bunch of the people, like what China did. It was a deliberate attempt. The state is taking over a lot of the work, and by so doing, we are going to set standards. Private people can do whatever they are doing, but the state is also taking charge, and we are going to drag the number of people along with us, because salaries will be this much, whatever will be this much, prices will be this much. We are not leaving our nation in the hands of private people. We have left it in the hands of private people since 1992, bro. Indians have taken advantage of us. Lebanese have taken advantage of us. Chinese is now taking advantage of us. So what is happening, and why we need Nana Kwame as president in Ghana, is not to come and continue what these two parties are doing. It is to come and bring the change that Ghanaians need. A change in how government runs business. A change with government getting involved and not just coming to collect taxes. You get my point?
I get your point, sir.
Does it make sense?
That's because I would say that we know that, of course, I'm doing political dogma.
Okay.
We are exposed to the fact that many industries have been run by private-owned companies.
Right.
But Nana Kwame Bediako's vision is to provide jobs.
Right.
Looking at the aim of launching 16 regional revolution across Ghana, transforming regions into industrial hubs. Its main goal is to create 800,000 high jobs annually to address unemployment.
Okay.
The reason why we want to address unemployment is that we have realized that we have everything it takes. We have all the raw materials. But the problem here is that if we have in-depth knowledge about how to move it from raw state to a byproduct here in Ghana, we will be able to export it. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of farmers. If you look at the Asante region, aside is being a gold hub, it also becomes an agricultural hub because it has a lot of agricultural stuff there. But the problem here is that the vision of industrial, making every region, all the 16 regions, an industrial hub is to create job opportunities.
Right.
Because when a student completes school after 4 years, we are going to look for jobs. But what surprises the nature is that, listen, money is not into the 9 to 5. Ghana, we should look at the woods. We should look at the agriculture side. We should look at our normal resources, the natural resources that God gave to us. There are a lot of things that if we have technical knowledge about these things, if we had knowledge about these things, there'll be job opportunities.
Right.
Because he's looking at providing the 24-hour economy. How?
Okay.
Industry. Byproducts. Exploitation. So a market woman cannot work for 24 hours.
Right.
So you can provide this for the market woman that, okay, we have been able to harvest this, sell, you've gotten a job. So those people packaging the rest in the industry, the students who have left the universities, they have technical knowledge about those things. Making goods to ready-made goods. You get it? So now Ghana will be its exporter of goods. We have also provided job for other people, the students. Here, income is going to come inside the system.
Right.
You see the problem? You see the solution here. Great. Fast forwarding to the second goal. It talks about the Sustainable Development Goal 9, promoting building resilient infrastructure and fostering innovation for sustainable growth. And the topic here is infrastructure and connectivity. Bediako's visions purpose massive infrastructure projects such as 80,000 kilometer network waters to connect Ghana regionally and internationally. Okay. If you look around here, looking at the historical background here, in the year 1957 onwards, infrastructure development was uneven. Ghana's transport sector has faced challenges, and with stalled railway projects and undeveloped waterways, Bediako emphasizes on a modern infrastructure mirroring the nation's need to catch up with the lost decades of underinvestment. We know we have a lot endowed in the Ghana system.
Right.
God has blessed Ghana with everything, every raw material.
Right.
Nana Kwame Bediako sees to it a lesson. This industrial goods from the first pillar, which is aiming at making all the 16 regions an industrial hub.
Right.
How are you going to export this? We are thinking of using the iron of Ghana to create railway lines.
Right.
So we will not go in there and go and import again. We are going to use our own. So providing 8,000 kilometer railway lines is from the iron. At that point in time, we have people who have technical knowledge. We have steel benders. You get it? We have people who have been to technical institutions in Ghana, schools, that know how to mend metals to become something we can work with. We could see around that we have metallic chairs and metallic tables. And
right.
So listen, instead of going out there to go import, we are going to use our own to create the jobs for people. And look at how we are going to make a connectivity. Ghana happens to be the center of everything. If you look at the Ghana map, it imports a lot, but Ghana can export a lot of things. Right. Looking at it, Nana Kwame Bediako has envisioned the point that, looking at water body, when you're talking about sending
the sea to Kumasi,
people didn't understand. It has happened before. In the Bible, you could listen that he said there was a poet that was written like cold water in the desert, like the fresh scented well spring. Like cold water in the desert. In desert, there's water.
I understand those parts. I get your points. My only explanation I'm looking for is the power that backs it, that backs the whole project. If we are going to do all of that, backed by private power or private funding, then there is going to be a problem. If we are going to do all that, backed by state as the majority shareholder, then I am okay with that. Now, sending the sea to Kumasi, I find it very, very interesting. and it's something I would encourage Nana Kwame to do.
It's possible.
I know it's possible because I've lived in other countries. I've lived in countries where the sea surrounds particular places for strategic movement of goods and services.
Yeah.
So it's not something that is outrageous in my sense. It is only difficult for people who have never traveled outside of Ghana
to understand,
to imagine and say, how does the sea go to Kumasi? Because in China, the sea goes anywhere they want the sea to go, so that the ship can come as close to where they want to, send the goods as possible. And so taking the sea to Kumasi is doable. My only question is, who is powering it? Is it the state or is it private? Second again, my only question with the steel industry. All right. And this is why I am encouraging somebody like Hubert, if he has time to come on the platform, because there are questions we need real answers to. Who is powering the steel industry? We have the raw material to produce steel, correct? Is the state going to be the one funding it, or are we going to leave it in the hands of private, or are we doing it with private state partnership? We want to know. Okay. Because if it happens that it's just going to be the private, if it's going to be the private, then people are going to suggest that it's going to be like what Nana Kwaku was talking about, when they won power and all of a sudden the one district, one factory became private partnership, whatever, and it became something that never really materialized. We want state to take charge of what it's most important to Ghanaians. The part where we know that if you leave it in the hands of private businesses, they will do it, but it will take so much from Ghana. So much. But the state has everything to do it on their own. You get my point?
Much appreciated. I want to make this thing known. The reason why he's coming to be president is because it's going to be run by the states.
Good.
So Nana Kwame Bediako is not coming as a private individual. The main vision for him coming as a president is he has seen this is the problem, but he has seen an opportunity in the problem. Looking at his affluence by God's grace, I've realized that he has other connections.
Right.
And when he went to the UK, the United Kingdom, he spoke concerning, he earlier said, we are sorry. The reason being that they expected much from us, but we were failing. And I've realized that the problem of Ghana's leadership in Africa, globally, is as a result of the encroachment of imperialism and neocolonialism. So because of that, Nana Kwame Bediako is going to combat that thing from happening. Instead of you becoming a master servant, why don't you become business partners? Have other relations with international institutions. Looking at other countries outside the world, in the European space, we don't want a situation where a white man will hold your balls and dictate for you. We want a situation where you and I can dictate for ourselves. I'm a master here, you're a master there. So you are thinking of building a strong front in a business partnership where our country will not be encroached because of imperialism and neocolonialism again. But we are thinking of making a bond of connection in our business world. Because if I happen to have a business relations with you, will you think of duping me? No. You know that if you go against your demand, I also go against my provider.
Right.
It's give and take. That's what we are thinking about. We know that they are not our enemies, but the problem is that the problem we had here is we weren't enlightened about what was going on. But God being so good, we are here to combat the imperialism of new colonization. We are here to combat the encroachment of imperialism and new colonialism. So Ghana coming here, the leaders we are coming here with our 12 pillars, it's not just boys, men, matured men who can think and solve problems. If you look at Nkrumah's time of office, he had a lot of his ministers as old men. We don't need boys to run this. We need somebody who is not correct at the top there.
Are you sure?
Who is having the youth flame. He understands the youth. He knows what we need. You get it? But he wants him to surround himself with, we are looking forward for him to surround himself with mature people, old men. And Nkrumah's government became successful because he surrounded himself with old men. If you see those sugar factory, Nkrumah had people, old men, who could think. There's some kind of reason goes like this that they are penny better than who are college people. We like the fire Nana Kwame Bediako. Thumbs up for that one. But right now, we are not just coming with boys. We are coming with mature people, men who understand life. Because this life is war, and we know business is war. If business is war, how can we relate? I know that you want this. There's water in this. You want water. I provide the water. What do I give? What do you give back in return? That's what we are looking at. We're not looking at becoming you forcing things on me. Because Ghana right now, the reason why we shifted to private here is because of the encouragement of imperialism and colonialism. But we, the new force, are combating that. We are looking forward to build a strong front of relationships with these external bodies. We know they have what it takes. If you look at China, it's an industrial hub. So if we are having a good business relationship with China, do you think Chinese will come and rule our country again? No. We have what you want. We export. You give us what we want. We use it for our country. We build. You get where we are coming from? That is the vision here.
I only have a challenge with the people you are talking, the old people you are talking about. I think that is also problematic.
Okay.
If you are aware of what is happening in this era, all over the world, leadership is moving from the hands of old men into the hands of young men. The reason is simple, very, very simple. There are things young people are also seeing now that the old people cannot even envision.
Great.
They cannot even comprehend it. They don't even understand it. And because of that, it is important to hear what young people are saying. Now, let's assume Nana Kwame Bediako wins the election. He's president. Let's assume. But he's surrounded by a bunch of old people, matured people, men, as you'd call them. Meanwhile, on the world stage, young people are taking charge of countries. Young people with ideas. Ideas, I'm saying to you again, old people cannot even fathom. And these old men are not even used to these ideas. It is going to be very difficult for these old men to, first of all, understand what is happening, and then to try and look at how Ghana can also explore in that area. So we need men, first of all, yes, but we need people, not just old. We need men, but we need men and women who have ideas and they are committed to Ghana by way of love. People who have ideas and are committed to Ghana by way of love. They love Ghana. They want Ghana to prosper. Those are the people we are looking for, because one young person can bring up one idea that can put about 1 million people to work.
Great.
One young person. Look at the number of people that Amazon employs. Look at the number of people that Facebook employs. Look at the number of people Google employs. All these guys, when they became successful, they were not this old. They were young when they became successful. Mark Zuckerberg and co. They were still youthful. Their ideas brought to light, okay, were the ideas that put thousands of people to work. So it's not just about looking for old men, okay, but we are looking for young people as well who have what it takes and ideas that can bring a real revolution into our world in this part of Africa.
I want to picture something to you here.
Okay.
When I say men, I'm not saying old people.
Okay.
When I say a man, I realize the kind of person I am. So I surrounded myself with generals.
Okay.
No soldiers.
Okay.
I've realized that in our country as we're living, we have fresh, dangerous visions of people. Looking at Trends Hub, it was created by a young man.
Right.
These ideas I'm saying, I'm not saying we are doing away with the old people. We need their ideas. But with the young people, we also need the young people on board. So it's a matter of coming with the young and the old on the table. Yeah. When we are coming to delegations, when we bring delegations on the board, you see, right now, the SDG goal, the Sustainable Development Goals, is that you're giving the chance for the young people to step into governance. Right. So we have realized that the power hub here is us, the young people. Mm. This generation, I bear witness to the fact that I know people who have dangerous visions. Mm. And who are the people in the team, the new first team on campus here, they have dangerous visions. But all these people have mentors. They're not working just like that. They have people, I call them the generals.
Mm-hmm.
Me, for instance, I'm an example of, I'm a product of a general. Professor Robert Hinson, my pro vice chancellor, he's my mentor. I'm doing something, I have the vision. I'm the kind of person, I'm able to envision the thing. But I need counsel on how to go about it. You get it? The reason why we need the old people is that there are some old people, God will connect you to them, that have vision, that understand what you're talking about. You get it? That's why mentorship is needed on this board. We can't just pick anybody from anybody and can't put it. You get it? As I was speaking, we are talking about raw ideas. We have people who are creating things. I know of a student in my campus here who has a foundation. How did she get a foundation? It was a true inspiration. I was talking to her, I was listen, I'm the kind of person, I champion people's vision. I'll tell you when I tell you that this is what I see you doing, do it, go for it. When someone is doing something, I can picture 10 years to come what the person is doing, what is going to become. You get it? That is how God created me. I'm thankful to God for that one thing. But also, I know that we, the young people, have ideas. But we are not doing away with the adults, the old people. When I'm talking about men, I mean matured men, matured minds. They call something the power of the mind. You see, the human mind is a weapon. And at the same time, it's a tool. You get my point? Mm-hmm. Nana Kwame Bediako is seeing this thing in this spectacle. As I was speaking, I said obstacle is the way. Every problem, Nana Kwame Bediako sees out opportunity. I have people around me who are young, who also see problems as opportunities. We stood down to learn. We are young people who have really got exposure of everything. Many instances, they tell you that we go to summits and all those things. It's not just summits. There's a place called the secret place. The secret place is where we learn things. If I'm to tell you what is in my mind right now, you run away. You'll be amused by it. But right now, when I had it, I prayed about it, and God directed me to a general. Now go to this man. He has everything you need in this life is in the hands of somebody. Get my point? So the reason why I'm saying this is that we are not to do away with the old people, but the reason is we are coming collectively that they should give us a hearsay.
I hear you. Let's move on.
All right.
December election is coming. Okay. As it stands now, the NPP is in control. The NDC is looking to take over the power. Nana Kwame Bediako and the new force is coming very strongly. All right? What do you see as the chances for the new force in 2024's election?
Looking at the sitting parties right now, they still have the old folks with them. Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. But if every young person is to vote, new force will win.
If every young person is to vote, that is, if every young person is to vote for the new force, then the new force will win. Okay.
But collectively, if we are to go for the first round, taking the old people off, we lose. You know why? We have die-hard people in these big parties, MPP and DC. Mm-hmm. That no matter what you do to them, they'll vote for these people.
Right.
You get it? And if we are to come right now, we will make progress, but people will not see the impact because there are a lot of problems are around. Mm. The problems around is that there's a ruling party. I don't know what they are doing though, but they've done their best. They should finish what they're doing. When we can make a difference.
I see. In your personal life, how many people have you won over to vote for Nana Kwame?
Frankly speaking, I have more than a handful.
Okay.
Looking at Abeka here, when I get to the people, I tell them, listen, look at our future. The way I hit them, the way I come with this conversation, you know where I'm coming from.
So how many people? Give us an idea. Could it be 100?
It's more than 100.
Could it be 1,000?
1,000 we are reaching. It's 1,000.
That's good.
1,000 plus, because God, by God's being so good, by God's grace, I chanced on reaching out to some people who are working, and I told them, listen, you've been doing this for a long time. Actually, I've seen to the point that Nana Kwame Bediako's vision is to solve problems. The problem that hurts me to my very core. I'm a member of this foundation, Legendary Africa Foundations, and the vision of that foundation is to support, to collect those children from the streets, get them to do something. So I envisioned something. I was like, okay, why don't we do this? I pictured it out of this thing. It's 12 pillars. And I got inspiration from it. That you see these young kids there. Why don't you equip them with technical skills? We have an ICT institution here, Computer Science, Ghana Communication Technology University. So I was thinking of coming up with an initiative. I discovered a problem that the children are always begging for money. So instead of giving them money, why don't I equip them with a skill? This is a hub of technological giants, industrial gurus in Ghana Telecom University, Ghana Communication Technology University here. So if I get close to a young kid and I tell you, okay, listen, this is a computer, I'm showing you how to code. Do you know the problem I'm solving here? I'm creating a programmer. And I was able to bet out this vision from these 12 pillars.
How many people will be able to bring out these kind of solutions from the same pillars? How many people have even read through the manifesto? How many people have watched Nana Kwame? How many people have seen him? Those are very, very good questions to ask.
The question here is, I want to start from a biblical point of view. Majority of us didn't meet Jesus Christ, right? But we believe in Jesus Christ. Why?
No, but that is a religious thing.
Listen,
hold on. Religious stuff, people don't need to see. It's based on faith.
Okay, I'm being honest. I believe in a vision because I've come in direct contact with what he has done. I've seen things he has done. As I was saying, I do geopolitics, so I move around the global space, the continents. I identify things around. Looking at Nana Kwame Bediako here, the reason why I believe in his vision is not because of his affluence, no, but because of his ability to walk the talk. Looking at Ghana right now, you could see that he has raised a building at
number 1 Oxford Street.
Great. The question is, Ghanaians always the old people always question,
right?
He's an industrialist. Aside being a businessman, he thinks outside the box. He sees future in things. As I was saying, he always sees a problem as an opportunity. When Black Sheep said on the song, he said, hit the man but listen to the message. You know why he said that thing? Someone is talking. You hate the person, but listen to the message the person is giving. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. 100%, no doubts about it.
I see.
Where the world is evolving to.
What would you tell your friends and people who watch this episode? What would you tell them as the reason why they should vote for Nana Kwame Bediako? Give us 3 reasons why anybody who watch this episode should vote for Nana Kwame Bediako.
Much appreciated. I would say that, listen.
Make it clear. 3 of them.
1. Mm-hmm. We came for Ghana. We came for the youth. We came to solve a problem. I've realized that the world is growing to a technological age. And they call us the Gen Zs, fine, but we're exposed to technology. Nana Kwame Bediako, the reason why I say we should vote for him is because he has exposure to technology. He knows what it's about. He has exposure to many things. And his journey to economic freedom is not basically because he wants to see you win. He doesn't want to win alone.
So that is one good reason.
He wants to see you win.
He wants to see Ghanaians win. He doesn't want to win alone.
That's the thing.
That's a good reason. Number 2.
He has envisioned that there are a lot of talents in us, but we just needed exposure. And looking at the 12 pillars of Ghana right now, the 12 pillars of Nana Kwame Bediako, it's going to give you a chance to exposure. They are going to. It's not that people go to school. I know people who are working, who learn some things in school, but they're not doing the exact work of what they're doing. Right. But Nana Kwame Bediako's pillars are creating opportunities that what you learned in school, you are going to utilize it to solve a global problem. So you are going to be a problem solver.
So he's making out everybody. What about those who didn't go to school?
Basically, it's not just for school people. You see, when we are coming to school, we have people who are working, technological people, who practice technical skills. All these people will be brought to book. Like they'll have something to do. You get it? Nobody's left behind. We believe that. I'll borrow a word from the sitting president. He said, we don't want spectators, we want what? He said,
we don't want you to be spectators. But we want citizens.
Citizens. But here with the new force, we are not looking for spectators. We are looking for people who are willing to walk the talk. And I know a lot of people there want to make a difference. I know there are a lot of people there, people who went to school, who didn't even go to school. You have your skill that makes you different. I know someone who can braid hair. You get it? And the person can braid, if you don't take care, wow, you'll be like, oh, what is this talent? That is the person's skill. I know somebody who has never been to school. He's a mechanic. He can fix your car and you'll be like, whoa, you're a pro. So this system, the 12 pillars of Nana Kwame Bediako, is creating a society of exposure where what you are doing, you are earning this, but you earn more than you are earning now.
So he's giving exposure to every aspect of Ghana's economy.
Yes, please.
Number one, you said he doesn't want to win alone. He wants everybody to win.
Yes.
Number two, he's bringing exposure to whatever we are up to. And he's going to help people who are graduating from universities to do what they went to school to learn.
Yeah.
What is the final thing?
The final thing is one thing. He has given birth to a vision. And the vision is this. He's not wanting to create a society of always followers. He's creating a society of kings. Because in some time to come, he'll finish what he has come to do. He'll go. But when he's going, he's looking out to be you becoming a problem solver. He's willing to make, like, he's making impacts in people right now.
I see.
When you read his lifestyle, he's a kind of man, he puts you first. You see, he has foundations. What do you think the foundations are for? Making impact. We need someone who will give us a chance to also prove ourselves worth. Aside him wanting everybody to win, him creating exposure to us, this is the vision. He's willing to produce Ghana not just being a country somewhere, but Ghana being a leading board when it comes to global contributions. You get it? Because we have realized that Ghana has everything it needs. But why is it that we are not moving? The reason is majority of us have not even discovered what we are doing.
Okay.
I bought my vision of creating a foundation from him. He sees the value in people. That's one. So because of this man's vision, the main reason why I'll vote for Nana Kwame Bediako, hands down, is because of one thing. He gives you the chance. He gives you a chance for you to make your contributions known.
Okay.
He's not ruling the country on his own. He said all of us to come collectively. If you look at a man like Nelson Mandela, he used the laissez-faire system of governance. He gave everybody the chance to rule. And he was the last person to make the judgment. Collectively, everybody's bringing his ideas. You get it? And you execute it. Now, I can't say he's Penny in Swassa. Right now, I seem to be a mentor, a champion. Do you know why? He champions negativity. He champions Africa. He's looking at making Africa something worth writing home about. Giving a young generations to come a better future. A boy's my blood to my very core to sit down and see kids on the street and they're not in school. Do you know why? So if we are no more, what would the kids say? Man, no. Nana Kwame Bediako is here to combat that ideology. Man, New force ba me yemwa. My akwanya nso say nso between be agina. Because at a time coming, AI is ruling the world. It's creating unemployment. Trust me. We have a lot of theory people who have learned theories. This is not a matter of theory. It's a matter of walking the talk.
I hear you.
So the new force came for you. That's why we say the motto is Eni Daswaba.
I hear you. But for right now, you work with the Trends Hub.
Yes, please.
You guys are making noise. You are becoming the next big thing on the continent.
Yeah.
Trends Hub, by the way, is similar to what Twitter is today. You can tweet, you can share pictures, you can share videos. It is web-based, not an app that can be downloaded from Google Play Store or Apple Store. No. This is web-based, so you have to go on the internet and download it. Okay, you can have it on your laptop also. It's catching numbers. People are now joining, as a matter of fact. What is the future for Trends Hub? What do you think? In the next 1 year, where do you see Trends Hub?
I always say I carry the mindset of a big leader, a big vision leader. The picture I see training up is rubbing shoulders with Twitter. Why am I saying this? Because what we have, we've realized that this is what Ghanaians need. People are tired of typing. There's one thing that I'm always happy about that is on our app. The fact that you can speak voice into any language in tree and you translate to the language you want the person to listen to. You see, people are tired of typing.
You can record a voice.
You can avoid,
and it will transcribe it
to the language you want to, be in English or whatever. I always say that God bless Kwaku whoever he is. The guy is a programmer by birth. When you say it, he knows how to bring the programs for it. You see, I always say that this generation, God didn't just bring men. He sent men. Kwaku is one of those men.
He's done a great job.
Because if you could sit down and look at how he was able to come up with something wonderful like this, he understood Africa, what it's about. You see, it's all about the mindset. I believe that everybody can put something to work and become a giant of it. He discovered he's a good programmer. And I said, Kwaku, Kwesi, let's go for it. At first, he was scared, but I told him, listen, you are the master and the vision of it. You are the only person who can make this thing different. So let's go for it. And God being so good, it has become something. Today, if you hear Trends Hub, you'll be like, are you trending? Are you trending?
So you hope that in the next coming year, Trendstar is going to compete Twitter or X.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because God has endowed him with everything we will need.
That's nice.
He's the powerhouse.
That's nice. Amen. Thank you so much for making time to come through the studio.
I'm honored.
We'll be happy to have you here again sometime.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.